Let's see. We live?
Everyone?
Hello.
Are we live? It's still not quite. There we are. Now we are live. So, hello everyone, and welcome to HoDiGa's Tarot. But of course, this would be what would it be? It'd be HoDiGaMi. We're HoDiGaMi. HoDiGaMi this week. We have Milou, who has just joined us, and we've all been busy, haven't we? We've all been like ferrets, haven't we? Around on each other's channel, collaborating, talking, so much to discuss.
Thank God.
Oh, indeed, and and I have a few little announcements and stuff like that. But let me just introduce our illustrious panel tonight. So, of course, we have Dianne's Tarot, we have Milou, of course, and we have Lady G. And before we proceed, and hello everyone who is piling in, by the way, we can just see everyone piling in. So this is great stuff. Thanks for joining us, guys. Let's see where we get on the numbers. But the first thing now, this will be sort of like a Ukraine-Russia special, so we say. We know that we're going to cover some ground that may have already been covered, but of course the dynamic
That's okay.
of the four of us together will of course bring other things, and of course there's specific stuff we want to talk about. But before we talk about that topic, there is one topic that is even more important than war in Europe, and that is Lady G's daughter's wedding.
Oh.
Congratulations. When?
Thank you.
When?
Please share.
Went off just a couple of days ago. It was on Monday. Actually, Monday was her wedding at Disneyland, and it went perfectly. Everybody was thrilled with the ceremony, with the
Everything.
What do you call it? All the stuff that we did. Okay?
There you go.
Happy.
That covers it all. That's great. Congratulations.
Congratulations indeed. And Lady G's being very modest. Her daughter is gorgeous.
I am sure. Look at Lady G.
Yes.
So, I'm not surprised.
And I can see why she's a model, and she's married to a rock star and all that kind of stuff.
All right.
Give us any little kind of tidbits more, if you are able to share, Lady G, of just some of the things that you remember, and then we'll start the show.
Well, I did a nice ceremony that was a little different. It wasn't the traditional ceremony. It was more of the ceremony that this is more than I love you. It's I choose you. You're the one I choose. And you are my soulmate. My locks, my keys fit your locks. And together we can be who we are, and we don't need to put on a front. And, it was and it was very sweet. And her husband-to-be was so attentive during the ceremony. He was just with every word. Yeah, it was beautiful. And they have the most fantastic photographer that followed around for 12 hours doing photos. So I'm waiting for those to come out.
I can imagine.
Wow.
Ceremony.
Fabulous.
Yeah, the whole ceremony was videotaped, and so as soon as it's put up, I'll share the link if anybody wants.
Great! We look forward to that, particularly as well in these times that we have, these strained and difficult and strange times, isn't it? Then when I was talking yoga, wow, gosh, really odd stuff, and so it's so nice to hear ordinary life. Still, it's ordinary and extraordinary, isn't it? People, we still need to get married, eat food, love, go out and have fun, no matter.
She waited a long time for this. That was my toast to them. She waited. She's in her 40s, and this is her first marriage, and she waited a long time to find the right one.
Oh my God. That's good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her. Good for her. Perfect. All right. Well, what I do is I need to make let's get the show on the road. I just need to make a quick few mentions. So, first of all, what have I written here on my post-it note here? Oh, here we are. So I want to say thank you to Lizette. You know who you are. I'm going to be using a new deck today, guys. It is called the Bianco Nero, and it's a black and white deck. and it is stunning. And I just feel like it's very appropriate and pertinent, sort of like for these times now, you know, just something like that. Also as well, I need to announce who's going to get the free hour reading from my top tier membership. So let me just quickly just shout out a name and then get in touch with me later at contact@hogarthbrown.com. And I've got here Incognito 11. If you know who you are. So I don't have a clue. Incognito 11. Thank you so much. Also as well, who do I need to do? Oh, thank you for all the new subscribers and members. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And all of you joining us today. And I want to give a special shout out to Ola Sylvia 1. And she was basically giving me a compliment about a video I did on Putin. And I just wanted to mention, she says she's originally from Poland. And I love Poland. I visited there. Yeah. And, you know, people are going into these deep underground shelters and stuff like that in Ukraine, which is a bit disturbing. But it made me think of a very, very special place in Poland called, and it's the salt mines of Wieliczka. Anyone knows this? Basically, it's a palace underground with chandeliers, statues, beautiful floors, and everything is made out of salt.
I think I've heard something like that. Wow, you've been there?
Yeah. I've been there.
That is nice.
And it just reminded me. When I had the comment, and I love pierogi and bigos and all that stuff. So the Polish will know what I mean. But honestly, if you get time, go to this the salt mines of Wieliczka. It is
I've heard of it.
Stunning,
Amazing.
and it's all made out of salt. It's incredible.
History Channel had something on it.
Oh yeah, it's the UNESCO World Heritage Site, and thank you so much for the donations in. We've got Patricia Van Zeno, we've got B. Smith, Karen Johnson, Michael J. So many of you, but let's begin. Okay, let's begin. And what I'll do is we'll do questions, and I'll give a little bit of info from what I understand up to the minute, because as we understand, this is an unfolding situation.
Oh my God, yeah.
But let's go straight in. Yeah, indeed. As well. Perfect.
Yeah.
So first question is, what's Putin's state of mind? Yeah.
You want me to go?
Yeah, sure. Let's go in reverse. So we'll do Milou, Lady G, Dianne, and I'll go last.
You know, I feel he's paranoid. He's raging. He did not expect he feels stuck. And now he's going to get more ruthless. And he feels humiliated because the world is turning against him. I don't know how up to date you guys are with the latest news. Even Orban and someone else, I believe in Romania, they all saying no to war. They don't want to participate. They don't want to be part of any of that stuff. So he has a special. He has a special anger towards America. Well, Biden really, because he feels like, Biden basically outsmarted him. And I'm not saying this because I think Biden is the right person for this time. But when was the last time we heard a president basically is dishing out intelligence information real time? And then Biden in 1 year basically has been able to bring the NATO members together, create, they knew him already anyway, which helped him tremendously. And now he's leading the cavalry against Putin.
Right.
So he is super frustrated. That's what I'm getting. And something, I said paranoid, I didn't qualify. He's concerned because he may get taken out. Because the Russians are stepping up, the population. They are protesting. So,
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Indeed. Wow. Okay. So, Lady G, what do you have for us?
Well, what I have in the center of it are, his spin and his lies and his misinformation and just his craziness that's going on with him that he's putting out. All of that's getting eaten away and things are heating up. We got summer, so it's heating up. He wants to continue to charge forward with this stuff, but for him, this is a tower moment. He wants to take over, blow up everything.
Can I say something? I don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, quite all
Lena
right.
just had a similar card she pulled out.
Oh, yeah? Oh, good.
I thought that's interesting. I had to put that in. You're on the right.
Absolutely.
We have an unofficial fifth member tonight. Hello, Lena.
I'm sorry. I don't mean Linda. I mean Lena. I apologize.
Lena, yeah, Lena, yeah.
Lena had the same thing. Yeah, it's a tower moment. And the world is watching and the world wants to put an end to it. And they're coming against him with power.
Yep.
And so, his time is waning. He is, unfortunately for him, he's going to be going out pretty soon.
Okay.
Okay.
Diane, what do
All
you
right,
have for us?
So you're asking about his state of mind, and I keep getting cards about disillusionment, sort of
Mhm.
like not being in the right frame of mind. So the card that represents him is the moon.
Yeah,
Sure, it's about lies. Right. So lies, deceit, but disillusionment. You do not see clearly by moonlight.
Yep.
His obstacle is he can't leave. He wants to go to smoother waters. I mean, there's only 3 cards where the character's back is turned and they're going. Here's his obstacle. He can't leave. He's gotten himself so far into this that he's stuck. Then he gets the other card of disillusionment. Nothing inside of these cups are real. There's fairies, castles, baubles, ghosts, and he's trying to choose from things that don't exist. And his mind is conflicted. It's all over the place. He's going back and forth. Should I do this? Should I do that? Which is leaving him brokenhearted because he ends up, and it's funny because I went live today and I got the Justice card and now I get the Judgment card. So this is going to have, if he makes it that far, and that's a big if, I think. If he makes it that far, he's going to end up in a legal situation.
Wow.
So that's what I keep getting with him.
I agree.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's what I keep getting.
Fascinating. Also, as well, what I find so interesting too is that those cards that you just pulled are so similar to what you pulled on your show a few hours ago.
That I
and you
live
pulled through, and
it's did it again.
It's remarkable. So I'm going to do a quick read, but also as well, excuse me as I'll do a quick. And thank you. I want to say thank you again to Lizette. What's this? But look, it's from Canada, everyone. It's from Canada.
Really?
You see, look, the little flag. So again, Lizette, thank you. But I just thought, we'll see if the 7 of Swords comes up tonight. Anyway.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, back to normal. Back to normal.
Are you sure?
Sorry, I mean, it's such a cute hat, but it had a sort of almost like an old school, kind of
absolutely, yeah,
vibe. And I thought, what are the odds? And the cards and the hat came today. Okay, Putin. Yeah, look at this. 2 of Swords. Yeah, he really is in 2 minds. And as we know that he's a wicked character, but we also do need to remember as well that he is a Libra. He has a Libra ascendant and he's got Venus in the 1st house. What is Libra about? Weighing things up. Yeah, it's an air sign, which is also what? Swords. He now really is in 2 minds about what he's done. It's really not gone the way that he thought it would. You remember when we were looking and I said, look, the astrology, the zigzag, which has actually started today, he has arranged the world against him. Yeah. Which is, they're not supposed to unify your enemies. Exactly. What's his obstacle? Look, his former life of comfort, wealth and riches and all that kind of stuff, the smug merchant, it's all sort of hitting the skids a bit. And I've got some stats here on the side as well. And I've put some links in the descriptions below. On the 2 videos on the history of Russia, not my videos, but just ones that I watched that were really good. And there's a link there as well to Putin's Superyacht.
Oh, yeah. I was just talking about that.
Which he just had to, Which
one is that? Because I'm sure he has a few. He just had one transferred from Germany to Russia.
From Germany, yeah.
I heard that.
Oh my God!
So and it's worth, what is it worth? It's worth 73 million pounds. Yeah, so you can. I
don't know how much in dollars that is.
Indeed.
I'm
so
sure expensive.
Indeed, a lot of dollars. So he's feeling, of course, like there is an attack on this comfort, but further evidence, of course, of this is, look, it's the Ace of Pentacles, which we know deals with what? Big money. So it looks like if they continue and they are successful with, they want to do the SWIFT thing where they want to cut Russia off that way.
Yeah.
If they succeed in that, that is major hammer blow. It's happening already, but this is really a big problem. And Putin in the back of his mind is prospecting. He's like, yeah. Look at that. He's looking at the world. Look, he's holding the globe in his hand, trying to make plans because he's trying to assess this reaction that he's had from what? The world. And now he's kind of like, not sure about this. Particularly we combine that with the 2 of Swords. Yeah. And
That's too many 2s.
I know.
I find that so discomforting that he's in his mind, he's at the beginning of the journey. And he does have things planned out, and he's like in 2 different mindsets, and I don't like that.
This shows he's conflicted,
Very.
Right.
Because really, there weren't enough details on his plans. He just thought he would go in, and he said, the Ukrainians will throw flowers.
Exactly.
No, they're not going to throw flowers. They're going to throw Molotov cocktails. And the Ukrainian government is teaching them how to do it. Did you see the video?
They're giving them the recipes.
Oh, yes.
So they're going to be literally like.
Students from a university over there is teaching them how to do it. Yes.
Right. So that is serious resistance. When you can see that, when the public is being chained, it doesn't matter how many tanks you have. If you've got 100 tanks, but you've got 1,000 people with Molotov cocktails, you're not going to win.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to win. And the outcome card is, look, the truth, Sword of Truth, which is coming out already. So he has opened himself to a whole lot of pain, and which he deserves.
Absolutely. And you know what? It's interesting you said that, but I can't help remembering Lena and I were just talking about the same thing. The truth will come out. And that's what's going to bury him. And him and his team are not looking very good in the eyes of the world.
No.
Terrible.
Or to their own people, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah, terrible. And you know what was really interesting? China abstained. When they did the big UN vote, they knew that Russia would do it. China abstained. That was a massive message as well. Putin would have totally have felt that one, because he would have been feeling like you remember he went to China beforehand to talk, etc. And he was like, you know what? And he was looking at America, and he's thinking like, I think I've done enough. I think I've done enough. I've sown enough discord. It doesn't matter how much money China has, and we're not even necessarily saying that they even support Vladimir, because remember, they did say early on, we recognize the sovereignty of the Ukraine. He should have kind of worked it out from there. Would have been like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I don't quite have as much support as I thought I have. Also, as well, China's going to be looking very closely at how the West responds. And when you see your ruble, your money's become monopoly money overnight, they say it may have bounced back a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It's just going to become monopoly money in the end. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to be anything, like piles of cash like this to buy bread. Russians know this. They remember what happened in the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah.
When
They
were
are
queuing
not
for bread.
happy.
No,
they don't want to go back.
Russian people aren't
Yeah.
happy. No.
They don't want to go back to that, and I think no one else in the Eastern Bloc wants that back. So you're on your own,
Exactly.
Vladimir. Okay, I'll just do a few more readouts, and then we move on to the next one. So who else do we have? We've got Tris, Corey Ray. We've got Dina Donatelli, Tammy from TN. What's the TN thing in the USA? It's Tennessee. See, there we are, Tennessee. Asp Third Eye, Incognito 11. Ah, there you are. So she's saying, yes, thank you. Drop me an email.
Yeah.
I'm popping you up, but my computer's a bit slow. All right, there we go. There we are. It's just taking a little while. I think because it's 4 of us, it takes us a bit longer for the pop-ups to come. Okay, next question. Diane, you've already asked this, and many people will have asked it, but, you know, it's worth asking again. So what's the future of the Ukrainian president, Volodymyr Zelenskyy? And I've done his chart. So let's do that again. So the same order. So Milou, what do you have for us?
Let me put it this way. This gentleman, regardless of the outcome, but I feel he's going to survive. If Ukraine survives tonight, because it feels like to me, Putin is stepping things up. He's getting very ruthless, you know, with the attacks. Okay. But he has already lost. Zelenskyy is already a world hero and a legend.
Yeah.
There is nothing Putin can do at this point to upstage him. And if he kills him, it's even worse.
Oh,
right.
Okay?
Just don't even try it. It's just
so
like,
do you remember the card you were saying? He was of 2 minds? Oh, God. Well, yeah. That's one of his biggest problems right now. Putin is ruthless. Okay? But Zelenskyy is fully aware of where he is as well. He is living rent-free and Putin's mind, and he's tweaking it. So I feel Zelenskyy has an amazing future ahead of him. Do you know who I'm remembering? The Polish Union leader who fought against the Soviet Union. Please, somebody tell me who I am thinking.
I don't know. There've been so many. When you look at the history video,
this guy was big.
Everyone started rebelling at once.
This guy was big. He was a Polish Union leader. Oh my God, I can see his face. He died. If I remember the name, I will tell you. Something ski, but almost Polish. Okay, go ahead. But I feel he has a super future ahead of him. And I will tell. I'm going to Google the name. That's why I have the fun. I'm doing like Linda G. That's how Linda does it. So I learned that. So we have the information. But I feel he has an amazing future ahead of him. That's my thinking. So it's your turn, Diane.
Right.
Or Lady G.
Or Lady G.
I'm sorry.
No problem. It's all right. I'll call out.
Okay.
So, Lady G, what do you have for us?
Well, in the center, remember the last one we had, the energy standing strong? He's standing strong. He's continuing out there with the energy, talking to his people. He said what Putin said and this nonsense about I'm telling our troops to surrender, it's all false, okay? So he's standing strong. He's in the crown chakra. He's up there, communing, and underneath of it, we have those that are loyal. So he's got a lot of good supporters there around him. He is in it for the long haul, step by step, and he knows his opponent. He knows the dirty deeds and the stuff that they're doing. On the other side of it, again, we have truth. He's standing for truth. And he'll make it through the abundance. He's willing to stand and say what it is as it is without backing down. He's got supporters. Okay.
This guy is
So he's got it. He's very smart. Yeah, he's gonna make it through and has a good future.
Okay. I'm sorry.
All right. So Diane.
Lech Waleska is who I was talking about.
Sorry?
Lech Waleska.
Oh,
Walesa.
Oh,
okay. I'm sorry. I just waited to say I got it, but I'll explain a little while.
No problem. No problem. Dianne, what do you have for us?
So he's not stopping. He is still coming up with plans, strategies, making alliances. You know, it's a 2. He's by far not done. And he's looking out onto the world stage, holding the world in his hands, reaching out to all these different countries, getting help. His obstacle is that he's literally having a tower moment. I mean, his country is being invaded. I mean, how could you not be having a tower moment under these circumstances? I think this is just validation from Spirit that the cards are on track. He's wielding the sword of truth.
Yeah.
He's forging a new path for, you know, his country. He's not backing down.
Yep.
He's going to get justice.
Thank
He
God.
will get justice out of this and emerge a leader victorious and triumphant.
Yeah.
So his cards are really strong. Very different than, you know, reading on Putin.
Yeah, when you're pulling the tower, I just kept seeing that they're going to have a lot of rebuilding to do, and
sure,
with all of this stuff that's going
literal
on.
towers are falling, right?
Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
Wow, wow. It's so interesting. So I'll just my cards are very interesting as well. I'll just do a few more. So we've got Marsha Green with us. We have got, what's this one here? Christina Estrada. Thank you as well for that donation that's just come in from Janice. My computer is slightly slow, and maybe it's just because there's 4 of us on at the moment. Someone's left a comment here, which is talking about the oligarchy, and we've just got over 1,000 people who have joined us tonight already.
Really?
Yeah, so thank you again so much for joining us. So the cards that I've got, look at this. For Zelenskyy, 2 of Swords. Makes sense though, doesn't it? This is obviously a man who's got lots of choices to make. He is in a war situation, and it is pressing. Every single decision he makes counts. What's his obstacle? Here we've got the Page of Wands. Now the Page of Wands, the pages are all about messages, etc., and stuff like that. But it's a youthful card, and the way I interpret this is his obstacle is that many of the people that are here to defend the city are young or inexperienced.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, they've been talking about that a lot, but we've had there've been hundreds of civilians literally queuing up to donate blood, but also volunteer, men and women. But many of them have never held a gun before.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? You've never held a gun before. And there was a guy, I think, who, like you were saying, Dianne, who blew himself up to sacrifice the bridge.
Yeah.
We've had huge acts of bravery.
I have his name. We must mention his name. His name is Vitaly Skakon.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So, but this also shows as well, it also shows the passion, the courage, the desire of the people. Even though they don't have the experience, they've got the heart. Yeah. They've got the lion hearts. But what is Zelenskyy doing? Oh, hello. Annie's joining us as well. She wants a bit of the action. She knows it's a good show tonight. Hello, darling. The energy is here, isn't it? She's like, I want some of this.
Yeah.
She's singing. She is purring.
So if we look here, this is Zelenskyy, look, trying to balance things, literally juggling things overseas.
Yep.
He's looking at the money, the finances, but also as well the messaging as well. Yeah. And of course wanting to appeal for help from overseas as well. But you notice as well, he's doing a balancing act where he's not alienating the Russian people themselves. He's appealing to their better judgment and thanking them for their protests and stuff like that. So do you see how he's balancing? When we look here, he's got the 2 of Wands. So look, more 2s again, prospecting, making plans, looking out to the world, seeing how he can get some international help in there, because he is a bit on his own at the moment. But we understand that for reasons that the West have explained, if they go in to gangbusters, we could be in a 3rd World War situation. Look at his outcome card, celebration.
Right.
So we can look at this as the 3 graces, perhaps.
Right.
Yeah? And he's also an artistic man. I did his chart,
Yes.
and he's a Taurus ascendant. Putin is
really?
Libra.
Right.
Vladimir is Taurus, which means they're both ruled by Venus. And Venus is the planet of the arts and intellectual debate and discussion. So it looks like here that as long as he can speak and talk, I think he's going to survive, we hope. And he's already a hero in the eyes of the world anyway.
My God.
You know.
Sure.
No matter what
He's
happens.
like busted flush. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You know,
stand up
he's-
guy.
Yeah.
Really is.
Absolutely.
And Taurus people are known for what? Their resilience, their loyalty, but also stubbornness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, very.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Stubbornness. Putin has underestimated the resolve that Zelenskyy has, as well as the resolve of the Ukrainian
Yep.
people. Okay, are we ready for the next question?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, so again, it's on the same theme, but this is something that's come up for a lot of us. But let's see what we get. What's Putin's health and future?
It's
not right, yeah?
My turn?
It's not right.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it.
I think he's. I was just talking about that with Lena, and I was looking at him. You know that meeting he had with all his advisors or whatever they call them over there. I don't know. After that, I saw he went and gave a speech, and he was leaning to his right, and the way he was holding his right hand, he was like this. You know, number one, I feel it seems like to me he had a bout with COVID, and I also feel if he hasn't experienced mini strokes, there's something like that here.
Wow.
Yeah. So something is brewing. They are not letting the world know. I don't feel he's well. You know what I mean? That's what I feel.
agree.
Okay, so Lady G, what do you have for us?
In the center of it, I have heart difficulties and blood.
Oh.
And so yeah, could be
Interesting.
circulatory.
Wow.
Circulatory, yeah, could be absolutely stroke, clot, something like that that's coming up.
Wow.
Underneath of it is the mountain. This is not going away, and predator, so it's actively moving. It's an active thing with him. That's going to be a difficulty. Yes.
Lena just said the same thing.
Yes.
Synchronicity.
Did you see how you put it? I'm sorry. I had to.
Yes.
Lena just said whatever he has, he's not going away. Sorry about that. I just had to tell you.
We're right on alignment here, down round the same track, riding the same train, I think.
Yes.
We both bought the same ticket. So yeah, going into it, you know, he's facing knocks, hard knocks and stuff. And some new things, new energy, new stuff is coming forward with that. So it's continuing on. This is a heavy energy that's not going to go away. And again, it's like an abuse of power and abuse. It's overtaking him. He cannot get out of it. He cannot run from it. It's there and it's moving forward on him quickly.
Wow.
Yep. I agree.
Wow. Okay. Diane, what do you have for us?
My cards are awful. I hate it.
I feel sorry for him.
I know, like I don't want to feel bad for Putin, but like the cards are just awful. So just like Lady G, I get the same thing. There is something probably cardiac going on. There's something not good. Like Milou said, yeah, maybe he did have a bout with the virus, and we know that can damage a heart.
Oh, yes.
Either way, something going on. He's keeping it a secret, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
hidden.
of course.
He's
course.
not telling anybody.
Of course.
His health is in for a tower moment.
Yeah.
There's going to be a moment where it's not going to be pretty, Then he gets the card of losing it all, and we're asking about health.
Yep.
The card of poor health, followed by
I don't know what that is.
death card.
Death card.
Wow.
I wouldn't be surprised because
I mean, these are ominous at best.
Oh, that's interesting. In fact, I mentioned it in my stream during the week. It's either it comes naturally, I mean, in the not too distant future.
Right.
But I had a vision. I saw him in the courtyard. Do you know who I keep getting every time I see Putin? Ceausescu. You guys remember Ceausescu in Romania?
Oh, right. The Romanian. Yeah.
Oh, yes. That guy was, So, and I saw Putin in the courtyard with a bunch of guys around him. He had a white shirt on, dress shirt.
Oh, I remember.
Dress pants. And he is, those guys are not there to be friends.
Right.
He looked like someone that was being taken to the gallows.
Yeah.
Something's clearly going to happen. There is clearly this tower moment.
I just had to share that with you, that you're correct.
Yeah, absolutely. As you guys would have known, I think was it the last HoDiGa? No, actually, no. I did a video called the Baba Yaga, which is my new nickname for Putin. Yeah, which means witch.
Which baby?
And that's what he has. But it's what's interesting in where I was talking about that zigzag. There's a lot of planets from today in sidereal Capricorn. And Capricorn is about government, distribution systems, etc., of all kinds. But it's also about pressure. Putin is now under a lot of pressure because, Zelenskyy is under pressure, but he's a much younger man. Not that you can't be vigorous into your 70s, but, Putinshka is going to be turning 70 this year. And, Zelenskyy is in his early 40s. It's a completely different scenario. Yeah. But I think as the Saturn has this quality of being like a glacier or like a vice, and he can grind down on things. And you remember how I was saying that karma for everyone is speeding up. Good, bad, or ugly. If you're getting good karma, great, or indifferent. But Putin is going to have to be paying a lot for these karmas that have built up over the years. Yeah. And they're really going to grind on him. And guess what? In Putin's chart, Capricorn, Saturn rules the 4th house. And guess what the 4th house is? It deals with the heart chakra.
Really?
Yes. 4th house also deals with the heart chakra. It's the emotions, the homeland, but the heart. And the zigzag, there's going to be, I think it's 6 planets that are going to be in there, like from today. Okay. So he's really, if he's got a weakened heart, this is probably not the best time to be. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, but look at this. Again, for him, 4 of Pentacles, but look, he's trying to hold on to something.
Yeah.
He's trying to hold on to these old notions, these old dreams that he has of the USSR when it was all glorious, where he was running through fields of poppies and, wild flowers. It's all nostalgia. We all know it wasn't like that. Everyone was queuing for bread. It was dreadful. When the Soviet Union, before it collapsed, he was driving, he had to be a minicab driver. Yeah. But yet he's still got this very nostalgic, but holding on. He's trying to hold on to everything tightly. Yep. The obstacle, same again. Look, 9 of Cups back, smug merchant. So he is worried about his wealth. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
He's trying to style it out. But when it's announced on TV, and when Biden comes along and he says, I've seized all your assets, do you think you're going to sleep well at night? I don't think. Yeah. No. When someone says, I've taken all your money.
He doesn't like that.
Justice. Yeah. Justice is justice is coming for who? The King of Swords. So we know that this is also Putinshka, yeah, with this cruel streak, the strategist, he's being all cool and rational about it, but deep down he really is in a flap. Oh, we've just hit 1,200 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it. And then the outcome card here, if we look here, it is the Four of Wands. Now, but again, it's another 4. This also refers to what? Heart chakra, homeland. But it can also deal with celebration. But when we look at these cards, there's strife here. So could it be that we are celebrating someone that kind of maybe loses their grip on something? Do you know what I mean?
Trying to hold on,
He's trying to hold on. I think he's overreached. He's overreached.
Oh, yes.
Oh, sure.
Big time.
And it's hard on his health.
Someone posted a comment, and I have to mention it. Lena, while doing the cards, she pulled, because I'm not good. I don't know how to do cards. I'm really stupid when it comes to that. But she shuffled the cards and she pulled them out. Okay. At the first card she pulled was the devil. She never knew she had 2 devil cards in the deck. The last one she pulled was not a devil. She was shocked that she never knew. She's had that deck for a while. She never knew she had 2 devil cards in the deck. And she explained the way it's like she's in a vice. Like
Trapped.
Yes, exactly. That's the right way to put it. He's trapped. Exactly. Yeah. But Tris reminded me of that because there was so much we talked about anyway. So but that's a very interesting thing that I thought I would mention that.
But trapped by his own doing as well. This is all his own fault.
Exactly.
He went in there, gangbusters, maybe, like we were saying before, when I tune in, he's acting like a man that doesn't anticipate being around for a long time.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And when you said that, I was nodding my head.
That's interesting.
You know what's just coming to my mind? Who of you here have seen the film Blade Runner?
I didn't see it.
Oh,
you seen Blade Runner? All right. So guys, share in the comments if you've seen Blade Runner. Now, I love this film, but allow me as I digress. Now, Putin reminds me of the character at the end of the movie. You know, the replicants, and they have to go out. He has to hunt the replicants, and he has this big fight with the guy with the white hair. Do you remember? And his body is working against him. Do you remember? He's trying to kill the the main character, the Indiana Jones guy. I've forgotten his name. It's gone out of my head. But they have this incredible fight scene at the end. And it's this bit where he's trying to win, but his own body is letting him down because the replicants have a built-in time that they can only live for so long. And what happens in the movie, they've got this extraordinary strength, but they can only live for 5 years. And it gives them this they have these childlike fantasies because they know they don't have that long to live and they were trying to extend their life. So I get this sense, it's almost like Putinshka is having this replicant moment where he's going gangbusters because he knows his body, his heart, maybe it's seizing up. And he's like, I've only got so long. And if I go out, I want to go out like Peter the Great or Catherine the Great. You know,
good luck with that.
Probably what he does in his castles, in his closets. He probably comes out dressed out like Catherine the Great, a huge and a crown.
Would you be surprised?
I'm being wicked. Okay. Last of the Putin questions, and this is a very valid one. It's the last one, but it's a big one. And this came in. This was asked by Isadora Clark and Sayed Nessaral, Durali's very, very long one. Is Putin crazy enough to go nuclear? That's what I want to ask. It's deep. It's a deep.
No. What do you think? That's a great question, by the way, because a lot of people are talking about. They are wondering. In fact, on Twitter, I answered to a journalist who was saying the same thing, this may go nuclear. I'm like, no. First of all, the oligarchs are watching him and other people around him who are aware of what we have been talking about, that he has lost touch with reality. And you know something? They know they lied to him. Because if you watch how he's been behaving throughout this campaign, okay, he's not in touch with reality, and they know they lie to him. So if he gives any orders, they may take him out sooner than later, something that can take everybody out. The oligarchs don't want to die. They want to go to Europe and frolic, on their yachts with the ladies and stuff. Forget the dying stuff. In fact, they are so unhappy with him already. Before he started this war, now he's making their lives miserable. And also those guys' names are getting out, which is not something that they really liked. They really like, okay? And their lives are more complicated, and their kids' lives are going to be more complicated going forward. So they're not very happy. The notion of World War III, remote. If at all, forget it. They will take him out before that happens.
Okay, Lady G, what do you have?
Well, I did another reading with it today and got no, he won't. But in this reading, what I got in the center, he fantasizes and this and that drama. But underneath of it, we've got the reality, the light, coming out. And we've got, he thought he's going to be crowd surfing. He's going to jump out there and all ladies supporting him, moving him along, But he's finding out he jumped out in that crowd and he's landing down there by his
on the floor. Everyone's just parted ways.
Yeah.
Parted ways and
Hits the pavement.
Like with the hockey. Fell flat on his face with the hockey. This has happened again.
So going into it, he's got an abundance of stuff and putting out this emotional drama that I'm going to, do the nuclear thing. But he knows the other side, this is stuff being juggled, and he is really, this stuff is weighing on his mind. It's totally weighing on his mind. Sleepless, because he knows that he can't actually do the nuclear. He's pulling the big bluff and hoping that it works.
That's the right word. Big bluff.
Yeah, big bluff, but it's not going to work.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well. Dianne, what do you have for us?
I just picked 3 cards because I feel like it's such a no that there's not a lot to read on. So, here he is, the devil, right?
Yeah.
Big surprise. But it's this, so on one hand, yes, he has these devilish, fiendish thoughts, sinful thoughts, greedy thoughts, right? But on the other hand, he's like these characters who are chained down. He really isn't free to do whatever he wants, even though he is kind of descending into madness. There are still checks and balances, and he's not allowed to just do it. So to me, no. Why? Because those around him are going to betray him. They're going to stop it. There are going to be those who he thinks are loyal, who are going to be putting 10 swords into his back.
Right.
And he will be held accountable, I think, for even thinking about it. At least in the eyes of those around him that know about it. So I say no. I don't see it as being feasible.
Yep.
Yeah. That's just what I've been feeling as well. And it may just reach the point when it comes time to slip something into Papa's tea. Yeah. Just be like, sleep well, my love. Let's see you on the other side. It will reach that point, because history proves to us that, assuming they don't die of natural causes, all dictators almost die of overreach. They just reach the point where everyone goes, right, the hands are now glued to the cray-cray bus. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just as we've got 1,300 of you have joined us tonight. That is
Wow.
incredible. So what cards do I have? Here he is, hardly with any clothes on now, trying to defend himself. Yeah? Feeling a bit naked. Bless him. All of his czarist, costumes are at home. I'm sure he's dressed up as all of them actually through the ages, But of course, his favorite is Catherine the Great.
Yeah.
So I can just see him in this one of these huge dresses. Anyway, but we see, look, he's feeling embattled now, because everyone's saying that he has not been able to progress as far and as fast as originally planned. It was supposed to be a blitzkrieg,
Yeah,
Go in
right.
hard, fast, and quick takeover. Apparently, the Ukrainians have destroyed many of the tanks. They've already killed a lot of soldiers. Yes, there's been civilian deaths as well. But many of the soldiers have also been captured. And the soldiers have said, well, we're not really sure what we're doing here.
Yep.
One of the tanks even ran out of petrol.
Yes.
Yeah. And there was a guy apparently driving the other way, fleeing. And he got out of his car and he said to the Russian soldiers, he's like, do you need a lift to the border? Oh, man. So Putinshka is feeling a little bit naked right now.
That's a little tight.
Things are moving a lot faster than he expected. The Ukrainians have fronted what? A fierce attack.
Yeah.
Fierce. They've sacrificed their lives. Yeah, they're like, this is our country. We're not having this. He was thinking he could go in there, slide in, you know, all slinky dinky. Yeah, be like, oh yes, this country's mine. I've got it all. They'll be grateful. You know what he said? He said they'll be throwing flowers.
Yes.
Normally, this is also, you've got the pentacles, but there's also the fruit, the flowers. He went in with this expectation like he was going to be able to sashay in there like Naomi on a catwalk and just, you know, take power. Ridiculous. He underestimated, look, the vicious battle that has been undertaken. The Ukrainians were not joking. They will fight to the hilt. And Putin will be asking himself at some point, was it worth it? Was it worth it with this aggression and violence? And in regards to like, because it was the nuclear question, but look at the outcome, temperance.
Yeah.
There will be a balancing act. I think there are still, I assume, enough sane Russians around Putin to be like, get your fingers away from the buttons. Do you know what I mean? Because it just wouldn't be worth it. The second he does anything like that, there's going to be a big old bomb on Moscow and St. Petersburg, and it will just be annihilated. So I'm going to say it as well.
Somebody was saying you should pull the Bard card, one of the Bard cards on the. I think that's a good idea. Let's see what they.
Let's see what the Bard has to say. Now, do you remember what he said last time? It was devastating. What did he call it? Beef-witted. What was it? It was remember it was beef. Where is? Oh my gosh! Give me
Where did it go? Where did
talk
it go?
amongst yourselves while I find Shakespeare. Where are you? The Bard, where art thou? Here you are. Here you are. He was under a chart. Okay, so for those of you that don't know this is something I've introduced recently. So one of you, I'm going to flick through the pages. Who wants to be the one to tell me where to stop? And then I will read what the Bard will say.
It's like Milou.
Me?
All right, Milou. Okay. So, oh, yeah, Milou. Okay, so look, what I'm going to do is, here's the book. Here's the book.
Okay.
So just to put it into context so you know what's happening. So this is Shakespeare, The Bard's Guide to Abuses and Affronts.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
And we use this on the douchebags of the world. Now, what happens now, I'm going to flick the pages and you will just intuitively tell me where to stop and I will read that page. All right.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So tell me when to stop.
Now.
Let's see what the Bard has to say. Oh, look at this. Oh, my goodness. This is what the Bard has to say. An adulterous thief, a hypocrite, a virgin violator.
Oh, my God.
Wow. And that's from Measure for Measure. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. And look what's on the next page. I'll read this as well. She hath been sluiced in absence, and his pond fished by his next neighbor.
Oh boy.
So that means basically adultery, going over across to your neighbor and doing a bit of naughtiness.
Yeah.
And that's from The Winter's Tale. So there we are. The Bard speaks.
Poor Annie.
Again.
Oh my goodness.
I know her innocent ears must be burning.
Poor Annie.
Oh.
Look at that face. She's like,
Look at her. She's in shock. She's in shock.
Virgin.
He wants his mommy back.
Oh, she just
Why are you so distracted?
Oh, I did. And look at that. The time has raced. Can you believe it? We're at 54 minutes and counting already.
Yeah.
So there's one that's come in, and who now this I can't remember who asked the question. So this is a New York question, New York DA. So we know the chaos that's ensued there. Yeah.
Yep.
A certain someone, Bragg, was supposed to be looking after the Duck L'Orange case, and all of a sudden he's feeling a bit skittish. Yeah. Now, apparently, so according to CC Ryder, he wants someone called Susan Hoffinger to now lead the investigation. Apparently, she ran a law firm for 20 years. And the question is, will she succeed against Trump? So it's all a bit murky for me, but let's see what you think. This guy, he's kind of not really delivered. What do you think, Milou?
That guy, I'm not very. I'm just going to be nice. I don't feel comfortable with him. Number one. Number two, I feel they have so much on Trump. My little pet. I don't have a dog. I'm just. Kitty can get him. That's how bad it is. They have so much on this guy. Okay. Any competent prosecutor will nail him. That's my feeling. Trump is a done deal. Nothing he can do.
Okay. Lady G, what do you have for us? As the
Well, at the center of it all is justice, which is a good thing. About the light at the end of the tunnel. There we go. In sync again.
Yep.
Light at the end of the tunnel. And we do have someone coming in that's going to actually be working with others on this. Going into it, this is the start. We have somebody new coming in. And it's going to carry it forward. The Three of Wands moving it forward. They have got a very strong case, and it's going to put him at rest. Okay, it's the end for him. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dianne, what do you have for us?
So I think really at the heart of the matter, it's women. You know, like we've always kind of all got the sense that it's definitely a woman that's taken him down. It's just which one at which time. There's just
exactly.
So many. This is also one of my cards for the U.S. that, the U.S. and justice and all that will prevail. 45 can't run away. His obstacle is that he wants to be like this character. He wants to get out of Dodge, but he can't. There is no escaping this. Why? Because just like Lady G, justice is coming.
Yeah.
He's going to try to fight, but it's not going to matter because look, this character, it gets no support. This character is fighting all these people all by himself, so it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So again, we're in sync again, and I'll try and get through this quickly. So look, Queen of Swords. Yeah, women, female justice. Here we go. Wherever he runs, he's just running into women that are just like, not impressed. Yeah, let's just put it that way. Not impressed. Again, the obstacle card. Look at this. He wants to get away, but can't. Yeah, wants to walk away. How funny is that? That's just.
So we're all getting the same.
All getting the same thing. He wants to walk away, and he's like, oh my goodness, here he is juggling for his life, doing every circus act he can think of in the book. Yeah, but he's running out of options for all of his spins. Why? Because he's got the Seven of Cups. This is not realistic. It's all fantasies, fairies, and baubles, and all that kind of stuff. And when we look in this new deck, look, one card has already turned up reversed. Four of Pentacles. This means being screwed, hold on to something. When it's like this, it's like you are really desperately grabbing digging down the back of the sofa, shaking out old money boxes, spiders and cobwebs are coming out. You're like, oh my goodness. So he's feeling this intense pressure. And at the moment, he still enjoys a bit of protection from planet Mercury, guys. So he is still being helped out by friends in high places. It's in his 11th house in its own sign, but that will eventually shift as the year progresses, and gradually, almost like a frog being boiled in water. Well, we know he's not that. It's more like a lobster, but do you know what I mean? He's just gradually the heat is just increasing, and he's trying to climb out the pot, and they're just putting the lid on, and they're just going to clamp it all on, and then eventually it will be no more. With Putin's power diminishing, so does
Isn't that something?
Their fates are tied.
They're both going down at the same time.
All right. So, can you believe it, guys? The hour has gone already.
Yeah,
it flew.
Flash. And also as well, Dianne needs to rush as well. So last little call outs: Janice Packard, Pegasus, Shelby Lisa, Craig Dixon, CC Ryder, Marsha Green, and Shanda Tarisu Grim. I'm not quite sure how to say that one. Thank you guys for all the donations. Thank you for joining us. Over 1,300 of you joined us tonight, Saturday night. So I just want to say a thank you. We really appreciate that and your dedication and support of the channel. But time is such, we have to dash, and I like to keep it to an hour. So thank you, Dianne, for joining us. We know that you're going to be a lovely evening.
I have a fiance waiting.
Indeed.
Thank you for having me.
Joining us as well, and of course Lady G, and we look forward to learning a bit more about your daughter's wedding. And bye for now. All right, see you folks.
Bye
Everyone.
Okay, friends, we'll see